everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you this beautiful fall card, and it uses some paper found in the paper pack that's called Petals and Paisleys, and of course it uses the stamp set, which is also kind of related to Petals and Paisleys, except it's called Paisleys and Posies. And if that's not confusing enough, we also have a framelit set that can be purchased as part of the bundle, and that's called the Paisleys framelets. So here's what the framelets look like. Here's what the stamp set looks like. And then here is what the paper pack looks like. So we've got, this is a specialty paper pack, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's oh so worth it because it has some copper foil on 2 of the sheets, and then just a really great fall set of papers. And so we are going to be enhancing this card, as you may have noticed, with a little copper foil. This is also found in the Holiday 2016 catalog with all of the products that will be displayed on this card, right down to the ribbon. And so let's go ahead and get started creating this beautiful, beautiful fall card, which could also be used as a Thanksgiving card, which is coming up next week. So if you have some of these products on hand, it might be a good time to get them out and create a few cards. So let's start out with our base paper, which is going to be Rich Razzleberry. I've cut this at 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to go ahead, fold along the score line here, and give that a good press. Then we're going to do the inside panel of the card, which I'm going to use a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Sahara sand. And I'm just going to take a little Fast Fuse, which happens to be on my desk right now. I could have also used some snail or some multi-purpose liquid glue just as easily. And this is a 1/2 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper from the Petals and Paisley specialty pack. So let's go ahead now and focus on the outside of the card. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute, and we're going to bring in another panel of Sahara sand. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to start by layering a piece of designer series paper over the top. So I'm going to start with a 4 inch square piece of this Paisley and Posy designer series paper, and it is in all of these wonderful fall colors such as Delightful Dijon, Rich Razzleberry, Mint Macaron, and then also I spy some Night of Navy scattered throughout. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how this 4 by 4 inch piece of paper is cut. So the way you're going to cut this designer series paper is you're going to cut it diagonally, and you're going to measure about 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom and just make a diagonal cut. There's no real science to it. You don't have to be real exact. Like I said, this is about 1 inch and about 1 inch, and then just cut diagonally from those 2 measure marks. And then you're going to come up with 2 pieces of paper that's going to go on the top and the bottom of your card. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down with some multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just set this one down here. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll set this upper one at the top. Just like so. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little stamping. So I have my stamp mat. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so it's always helpful to have a stamp mat. I am going to ink the sentiment up with some Rich Razzleberry, flip this around, and we're just going to stamp this at a diagonal right in the center of that spot where we have our Sahara sand paper. And that turned out beautiful. Now, to accentuate it even more, we're going to use some of this trio ribbon. In the holiday catalog, you'll find a trio of grosgrain ribbon, and it's in Mint Macaron, Rich Razzleberry, and Delightful Dijon. We're going to use the Mint Macaron today. And what I'll do is I'll just trim this so that we have about, 3/4 of an inch or so on each side. Then I'm just going to take some Scotch tape, and we'll just tape down this ribbon. And now that we have our ribbon taped down, we can go ahead and do a little more decorating. So let me bring the card back in. And you can see I used the Paisley framelits to cut out a couple of copper foil accents, as well as some accents with our rich raspberry paper. And so let me show you the sandwich that I used in the Big Shot machine. I have my Big Shot platform, then I used the thin die adapters, then I put down one of our cut plates, and of course had the paper on there, and then I have a top cut plate and ran that through the Big Shot machine. And this is the result. I have one copper open face paisley and then two more open face paisleys, one larger and one smaller to match the copper in rich raspberry. And then I also cut out a copper paisley accent that has some really pretty details on it. And then what I did is, before I started this video, I went ahead and I took my multi-purpose liquid glue and I just put some glue on the outside edge of this piece so that it will stick for us later when it's ready to go ahead and put on the card. So that's drying so that it will have a sticker-like quality. So now we can go ahead and we'll just set these onto our card in a way that looks pleasing. And so I like to go ahead and I'll layer this first. And what I like to do is just kind of double it up like this. So I will add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to this rich raspberry paisley, and then we'll just set this copper one on like this. And there we have a really pretty accented paisley. And then this one, I think what I want to do is kind of curl that around so that it accents the words. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on right now with a couple of glue dots. So let me just add a couple of glue dots to this. We'll just set this in right here, and then it will be real easy to know where to put this next one. And I think we'll put it so that it sort of looks like a starburst right here. And you know, it just depends on the paper and how the paper has its pattern when you're setting this up. So every card is going to be just a little bit different. And now we can go ahead, and because we have this multi-purpose liquid glue on here and it's sort of dried to like a sticker, we can just go ahead and stick this right on here. We're going to line it up over the top of this rich raspberry paisley that I've already pre-cut, and just scoot it into place and then give it a nice firm press, and that is stuck on there really, really well. So the front panel of our card is now done, so all we need to do is put this onto the front of our card. So I'm going to do that with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And we can just put this in so that all four borders are nice and even. All right, and here's our beautiful card, and it's going to be so nice and easy to mail to people who maybe are not in your area and you want to let them know that you're thinking about them at Thanksgiving. So thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you're interested in placing a Stampin' Up! Product order, please see my blog at www.stampintoshare.com, and there's links there that will take you to my online store. Have a great day. Bye-bye.